Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Dear students, welcome back to our virtual class of English language vocabulary. This class is number 6. Today we are going to talk about zero affixation. We have already actually talked about suffixes and prefixes, and we have already said that a prefix is a letter or groups of letters that are added to the beginning of the word to change the word into the opposite, and suffixes are a letter or groups of letters that are added to the end of the word to change the class of the word or to change the part of a speech of the word. Here, zero affixation, as the name suggests, we don't have, or we have neither prefixes nor suffixes. And that's why when we ask the question, what is zero affixation, we say it is a word in English which functions as a noun. It is a word in English which functions as a noun and a verb, or a noun and adjective, or a verb and adjective. I mean, we here need to focus on the fact that we still have the same written form of the verb of the word. It doesn't have a prefix or a suffix. The word is the same, but it functions differently. Sometimes it functions as a verb, sometimes it functions as a noun. Okay, so here let's have a look. Many words in English can function as a noun and verb, or noun and adjective, or verb and adjective with no change in the form. So we don't have any change in the form, but the meaning actually is sometimes different. Sometimes we have the same meaning, sometimes we have a different meaning. The meaning is not always the same. But this unit looks at the examples, where the words do have the same meaning. Okay, let's have a look on the examples here. What's the answer? Here, the answer is a noun. Answer the question, please. Answer the question, please. Here we have a verb. Next, I don't like the cold. Cold here is a noun. I don't like the cold weather. Cold here is an adjective. Okay, so we have more examples. I must clean my room. Clean here is a verb. It's a clean room. It is an adjective. So here, the same word, the same written form of the word functions differently. Sometimes it functions as a verb. Sometimes it functions as a noun. We have other cases in which it works or it functions as an adjective. I didn't reply to the letter, verb. I didn't reply to the letter. I wrote a reply to the letter. This is noun. So in the first case here, reply is a verb, and reply here is a noun. Okay, we have a note here. Note, other examples in the book are marked like ache. It is between two brackets, N and V. It means like ache is a noun and a verb. Damage, noun and a verb. Dry, verb and adjective. Yeah. Keep a record of them in your notebook, so you need to write them down so that if you would like to foster these things, you need to come back to your notebook. Okay, let's go to number B. Noun and verb. You may know these words in one form but not the other. The definitions are for the verb. Here we have different words. We have laugh, smile, smell, increase, taste, rain, dream, queue. Queue is to stand or wait in a row or in a queue. For example, if you'd like to, get your money from the hole in the wall, the cash machine. So you can wait in a line. You can stand in a line. It's a queue. It is pronounced queue. Okay. Here we have brake. To brake means to stop the car using the brakes of the car. The brakes on the roof. Okay. On the floor, sorry. So brake, it means to stop your car. Diet, to eat less. To diet means to eat less and lose weight. To lose weight, diet. Okay? Guess, give an answer without knowing the fact. Okay? If you don't know something, try to make a guess. Okay? We have ring, means phone. Push, pull. This is the opposite. Murder means to kill somebody. Murder means to kill somebody. Note other words in this group include stay, drink, rest, look, coast, and wait. Use a dictionary if you need to check the meaning. Here are a few more examples. We queued for half an hour. We queued, it means we waited or we stood in a queue for half an hour. Okay, so here we queued for half an hour. We waited in a queue for half an hour. So here it is used as a verb. In the second example, it is used as a noun. And notice that when we use it as a noun, we need to be very careful to the verb that is used with a noun. There is another verb that is used when the word is used as a noun. So this is very important, and we need to be very careful. Okay, this orange smells or tastes strange. This orange has got a strange smell or taste. So we say has got a strange smell. In the other example, we waited in a queue. We waited. We stood. Okay. So another time. I'm trying to focus on this. Piece of information. That is, when we use the word as a noun, we need to be very careful that we use another verb with this noun, an appropriate verb. Okay. So here I didn't know the answer, so I guessed. Okay. Guessed here is used as a verb. Let's use it as a noun. I didn't know the answer, so I had a guess. So I had a guess. I didn't know the answer, so I had a guess. Okay? Okay, this is done. Let's move to C. Which verb? Which verb? And this is the idea that we need to be careful when using the words as nouns, since we need to use another verb, an appropriate verb. Okay? So, when we use these words as nouns, we use other verbs with these nouns, and we need to be very careful, okay? Very careful concerning the verb that we need to choose. When we use these words as nouns, you need to choose the correct verb to use with it. Here, look here. Let's have a look. Verb and noun. We have two columns, actually. We have verbs and nouns, the same words, actually. The same words. We stayed in Paris for a short time. We had a short stay in Paris. So here, stayed is a verb. However, here we had a short stay. We had a short stay in Paris. So had a stay and stayed. So we use the verb have here. We rested for a while, and we had a short rest. We had a short rest, okay? She braked quickly. She put on the brakes quickly. Put on the brakes. The verb that goes with the noun here is put on. We put on the brakes quickly. He needs to diet. He needs to go on a diet. Go on a diet. Nice. I'm going to ring him. I'm going to give him a ring. I'm going to give him a ring. I looked in the paper. I had a look in the paper. To look and to have a look. To look and to have a look. He pushed me. He gave me a push. He pushed me, he gave me a push. I dreamt about you last night. I had a dream about you last night. So to have a dream, to dream and to have a dream. Okay, so this is done actually for zero affixation. Zero affixation. So zero affixation means, in short, let me sum it up, is a word in English which functions as a noun and a verb. A noun and an adjective, or a verb and an adjective. Taking into consideration that the word is still the same. It doesn't change. We have neither prefixes nor suffixes to the word, and that's why this is called zero affixation. Zero affixation. Okay? So let's do the exercises. We have actually many exercises here. Let's do number 1. 10.1, rewrite these sentences using the underlined nouns as verbs. The meaning must stay the same. Look at the examples first. Example number 1, there was a lot of rain yesterday. Here, we need to change the noun into a verb. So it rained a lot yesterday. It rained a lot yesterday. Number 2, I had a dream about you last night. The answer is we dreamt about you last night. Okay, number 3, we waited in a queue for half an hour. The answer is we queued for half an hour. Number 4, the cost of the holiday was about £500. The answer is the holiday cost about, so because it's past, the cost of the holiday was, and that's why we say the cost of the holiday was, And that's why the answer is the holiday cost was about 500 pounds. And last but not least, I wrote a reply to this letter yesterday, and the answer is I replied to this letter yesterday. Okay? So we are done with 10.1. Let's go to 10.2. Now rewrite these sentences using the underlined verbs as nouns. The meaning must stay the same. So it is the opposite. In the first case, we used the nouns as verbs, and here we need to use the verbs as nouns. Right? Okay, number one, I'll ring him this evening. I'll give him a ring. 2, I diet if I put on weight. We say I'll or I go on a diet if I put on weight. So diet, go on a diet. Number 3, it was very hot, so we rested for a while after lunch. It was very hot, so we had a rest for a while after lunch. Number 4, I braked, but I still couldn't stop in time. I put on the brakes. Number 4, I put on the brakes, but I still couldn't stop in time. Number 5, he pushed me. He pushed me. The answer is he gave me a push. Number 6, this is the last one in this exercise. Did you look in the paper? Did you look in the paper? Okay, the answer is, did you have a look in the paper? Okay, did you have a look in the paper? Okay, this is the last one, 10.3. Sometimes the same word form can be a verb and a noun, but with a very different meaning, okay? We have already, discussed this idea that sometimes we use the word as a verb and as a noun at the same time. It can be used differently, as a verb, as a noun, as an adjective, and a verb, with no difference in meaning. But sometimes we have some sort of difference in meaning. Here are examples, and we are going to read these pairs of sentences and try to focus on, or to try to shed light on, the differences in meaning between the two uses of the word, of the same word. Number one, we had a long wait for the bus. Number 2, if we wait any longer, we may miss the train. So here we had a long wait for the bus. If we wait, here in the first example it is a noun, and the second example it is a verb. Do we have any differences in meaning? No, we don't have any differences. They are the same. The meaning is still the same. The second, number 2, could we have another bottle of water, please? And I asked her to water the garden. Here we have, I think we have, a slight difference of meaning. Could we have another bottle of water, please? And I asked her to water the garden. Here, number 2, so it's number 2. Yeah, it's number 2. It is number 2. Here, could we have another bottle of water, please? I asked her to water the garden. Water here is a verb, and water in the second example is, in the first example it is a noun, in the first example is a noun, in the second example is a verb. Number 3, I gave him the book. And did you book the table in the restaurant? The first example, book, reserve. In the first example, it is a book. A book is a groups of papers together, which we read, which we write, and this stuff. Did you book the table in the restaurant? Book here, to reserve. Book means to reserve. So the meaning is totally different between the word in the first example and the word in the second example. Number 4, they always take a break after an hour's work. And did you break his arm skiing? Here we have a difference in meaning. In number 4, they are completely different. To break a leg means to fracture it. However, to take a break means to rest. So this is the answer, I think. Number 5, I go for a run most mornings and I was late, so I had to run to get to school on time. Here, even though we have the same word here, run and run, the meaning is totally different. Again, the meaning is totally different. Some people say they are similar, but I say there is, to some extent they are similar, but there is some sort of differences in meaning, but not exactly the same, because a run here is an activity that a person chooses to do. A run. Again, let's read the example. I was late, so I go for a run most mornings. Here, a run, you choose to run. You choose to run. It's up to you. It's up to you. I was late, so I had to run. So you are obliged here. You are obliged. It's compulsory. I was late, so I had to run to get to school on time. Okay? We have come to the end of this unit, and we are done with exercises 2. Let's go to unit 11. Let's go to unit 11. Unit 11 says we have compound nouns. We have compound nouns. Formation of compound nouns. As the name implies, compound nouns are two nouns that are joined together to form one word. There are two, again, a compound noun is two nouns that are joined together to form one word. Okay? One noun you can say. Here, the formation, as it is here, a compound noun is formed from two nouns or an adjective and a noun. Not necessarily two nouns. You can say an adjective plus a noun. Here are some more common examples. We have earrings. We have alarm clock. We have table tennis. We have traffic lights. We have meter, or meter. It is meter in English. It is meter, or you can say traffic. Parking meter. It is parking meter or meter. Parking meter or meter. And here we have pedestrian crossing. Pedestrian crossing. Actually, the compound nouns fall into three categories. We have two nouns that appear as one word, two nouns that are used as one word, and two nouns that are hyphenated. Again, two nouns that are used as one word, as a noun, one word, okay? So they are joined together with no space in between. We have two words that are joined together with a hyphen, so we say they are hyphenated, a hyphen in between, and we have two words that are separate, two words that are separate. I can say many examples, actually. We have many more examples, like a notice board, a can opener, taxi driver. Again, we have three examples: taxi driver, can opener, and a notice board. These three compound nouns are hyphenated. We use them with a hyphen in between the two words. So let's move to the other example, which is, the separate words. The separate words. We have alarm clock, bus conductor, sunglasses, bus stop. We have more examples, actually. Again, let's say them: alarm clock, bus conductor, sunglasses, and bus stop. These are separate words, okay? However, words that are used as one word, like notebook, matchbox, newscaster, toothbrush, bookshop, birdcage, goalkeeper, earthquake, and the stuff, okay? So we have, another time I'm saying, we have three categories. Three categories, two words that are hyphenated, two words that are used as one word, and two words that are separate. Here are three categories of compound nouns. Okay? I think we are going to come across this in the next lines. A compound noun is formed from two nouns or an adjective and a noun. We have 5 pictures. We are done with them. Alarm clock, a credit card. By the way, we can say alarm is the modifier and clock is the head. Alarm clock. So the first word, the first noun, is the modifier. The second noun is the head, okay? So modifier and a head, modifier and a head. Okay, alarm clock, credit card, table tennis, t-shirt, earrings, okay? Sunglasses, traffic lights, tin opener, and parking meter. What is a parking meter? This is the parking meter. This is the parking meter. It is a machine next to the parking lot that we put money in order to be able to park our cars. Okay, so it is a machine. It is a machine that is next to the parking lot, to the parking, okay, parking places. So it is a machine which is next to the parking lot in which we put money in order to be able to, park our cars. This is the meaning of parking meter. First aid, pedestrian crossing. Pedestrian crossing, this is the place that is used by people when they cross the roads and streets. And when, at this point, when people cross the streets, cars must stop. It is painted in black and white. It is painted in black and white. Okay, so this is a pedestrian crossing. Dining room, it's a place where we dine at home. It's a place where we have our food. We eat our meals. Film star, okay, film star like Bruce Lee, like John Travolta, like Tom Cruise, okay? And we have, in film stars, we have protagonist and antagonist. Brother-in-law, your sister's husband. It is your sister's husband, brother-in-law. Income taxes, a tax you pay on your salary. Writing paper, it's a paper for writing. You write things on it. Washing machines, a machine for washing clothes. Checkbook, a book which has checks. Babysitter, somebody, a man or a woman who works as, who works as a babysitter. It takes or looks after our children when we are out. So somebody who looks after children when we are away. Mother tongue, my mother tongue is Arabic. My mother tongue is Arabic. So it is my language, my first language. Science fiction, stories about the future. Box office, it's the place where you can buy tickets for cinemas and the theater. Good, this is okay. Let's go to one word or two. It talks about compound nouns. Compound nouns. Compound nouns are usually written as two words. This is the idea we have just been talking about. Is it one word or two words? Hyphenated, separate, one word. This is the idea. One word or two. Compound nouns are usually written as two words. Like credit card, these are two words. They are separate. They are separate. But sometimes they are joined by a hyphen. They are joined by a hyphen. That's why we say they are hyphenated. It is a hyphenated word. It means we use a hyphen between the two words. Or written as one word. So these are the three examples I have just talked about. Like sunglasses. Sunglasses. So babysitter is a hyphenated word, sunglasses as one word, and credit card separate. Unfortunately, there is no rule for this. There is no rule for this. What about the pronunciation? Okay, what about the pronunciation of the compound nouns? Yes, the pronunciation is always, or the main stress is always on the first part, on the first word, which is the modifier. The main stress is usually on the first part. Parking meter. It's we say parking meter, but sometimes it is on both parts, like mother tongue. So here, in this case, we have the stress on both the two parts of the word. In A, the compound marked with a star all have the stress on both parts. Some dictionaries show the stress on compounds. Okay, so this is done for the pronunciation. In short, the pronunciation, the main stress is usually on the first part, like parking meters, but in other examples we have the stress on both. Forming in new compounds. Quite often, one part of the compound forms the basis for a number of compound nouns. So we have here, like it says, the modifier can be used with many other heads. The modifier can be used with many other heads. So the same word, the first word, can be used with many other heads. Like what? Like post, ticket, box, office. Post office, ticket office, and vice versa, and vice versa, and vice versa. Post office, ticket office, box office. The second example, traffic lights, warden, jam. Okay? Film, pop, rock, star. So we can say film star, pop star, and rock star. Next, brother, sister, father, mother-in-law. So brother-in-law, sister-in-law, father-in-law, mother-in-law. Okay? Next, dining, sitting, waiting room. So we can say dining room, sitting room, and waiting room. Note, a traffic jam is a long line of cars which are moving slowly because the road is busy. So there is a difference actually in meaning between a traffic jam and a traffic warden. What is a traffic jam? A traffic jam is a long line of cars. Why? Because, a long line of cars that move slowly because of what? Because the road is very busy. However, traffic wardens patrol the streets to make sure that you are not parked in the wrong place. In Arabic, the traffic warden is الدورية الحراسة. So it is traffic wardens patrol the streets to make sure that you are not parked in the wrong place. So here we have a difference in meaning between traffic jam and traffic warden. You buy theater tickets at the box office and the train tickets at the ticket office. Here also we have a difference in meaning between the two. It is box office and ticket office. Box office, we can buy theater tickets from the ticket office we can buy train tickets. Okay, so we are done with this unit. Let's move to the exercises. Exercise number 1, 11.1, find compound nouns on the opposite page connected with each of these topics. Here we are going to find a compound noun on the opposite page which is connected to this word, money. Money, we can say checkbook. This is connected to the money, yes, to money. Box office, credit card, cash card. We have cash card, we have a credit card. There is a difference actually between a credit card and cash card. A credit card is that piece of plastic which we use to buy goods and services. So it can be used instead of money. You can go to the supermarket and buy things with this piece of card. It's a credit card. However, cash card is that piece of plastic which you use or which you insert into the cash machine or into the a hole in the wall. It is a hole in the wall. You insert it in order to withdraw money. So this is the difference between a credit card and cash card. So box office, credit card, cash card, checkbook, and this stuff. Roads, we have pedestrian crossing. This is for road. We have traffic lights. We have traffic jam. We have lots of examples actually. Traffic jam, traffic lights, pedestrian crossing. For things we wear, we have the earrings, we have t-shirt, we have the sunglasses. For people, we have pop star, we have brother-in-law, we have babysitter, and this stuff. Okay, let's go to 11.2, complete these sentences with suitable compound nouns, then see if we can find them on the opposite page. I am late because there was a terrible traffic jam in the center of the town. Humphrey Bogart was a famous film star in the 40s and 50s. My alarm clock didn't ring this morning and I didn't wake up until 9:30. When I got to the surgery, I had to sit in the waiting room for 40 minutes before I could see the dentist. Mary really wanted to see the film, but she couldn't find a babysitter for children, so she had to stay at home. When I'm driving, I always wear sunglasses if it is very bright and sunny. 7, you have to pay income taxes on your salary in Britain. The amount depends on how much you earn. 8. I often have the same problem. I park the car next to a parking meter and then I discover that I don't have the right money. 9. In some countries, we have to have a first aid box, a new car for minor injuries and illness. My brother loves scientific fiction. But I prefer true stories about the present or the past. Okay, so let's go to the last exercise, 11.3. 11.3 says, take one word, the first part or the second part from each compound and create a new compound. Okay, so brother-in-law, mother-in-law. Okay, brother-in-law, mother-in-law. Table tennis. Okay, table leg. Dining room, waiting room. Film star, pop star. Credit card, postcard. Toothpaste, toothbrush. Traffic lights, traffic jam. Sunglasses, sunshade. Post office, box office. Hair dryer, hairdresser. Okay, so we are done with this class, so we can call it a day. Thank you for watching me. Bye bye.